So after going through the burn presentation, we are coming back to the step 1. That is the understanding sarcopenia, causes and risk factor. What is sarcopenia? Sarcopenia, it is a term from the Greek phrase that is known as sarco means muscles and penia means poverty or the deficiency. So sarcopenia means Mr. Rosenberg is a nutritionist and researcher also. He has given this term in 1989. That means that the deficiency of muscle is known as sarcopenia. So various definition. First of all, we just want to define what is sarcopenia to give a more understanding towards this topic. So I just have gone through the researches to know the definition of sarcopenia. We have come across so many groups like the Asian groups, the European groups, and finally the South Asian working Asian groups on sarcopenia, and all of them have covered 3 things. Remember 3 things, that is the muscle mass, the muscle strength, and the physical functioning of the muscles. All of them have covered the 3 things only. So this is sarcopenia is a syndrome that is defined as a decrease in muscle function, strength, and the mass. And here in the picture you can see clearly that the cell size is same. You can have the cross-sectional view of that muscle. You can clearly see that the muscle mass, the cell size is same, whereas the red portion, that is muscles, in the healthy cells the muscle mass is same, but whereas in the sarcopenic cell the muscle is decreasing and the space is being covered by the fat. Are you able to see that? The yellow portion is fat and the red portion is muscles. So sarcopenia is the syndrome where muscle size, muscle volume is being taken by the fat cells. So looking for the prevalence of the sarcopenia, when we go through the global and Asian prevalence of sarcopenia, it is almost same. So globally, the study says it is from 10% to 16%, and for Asian it is again 16.5. But we want what is our status. So the Indian study says, and which is the recent studies in 2024 only, it says that the prevalence rate in India among 35 to 70 years old, it is 28%. So remember, you can have a notice here, it is from age of 35 only it starts, and the rate is quite high, that is 28%. Whereas among the elderly population, that means over 60 years of age, in India, the primary sarcopenia has a prevalence of 39, almost 40%. So that means out of 100 people over 60, 40 people are suffering from sarcopenia. So that gives us the attention towards dealing with this problem. So in order to understand more about the stages of sarcopenia, we have the 3 classification. That is, one is the pre-sarcopenia. If only remember these 3 things. In my presentation I am talking about 3 things: muscle mass, muscle strength, and the functional muscle only, the physical capacity of that muscle. So when only muscle mass is decreasing, that means we may call it the pre-sarcopenia. When either of the 2, the muscle mass or the muscle strength or the muscle function is decreasing, in these 3 any of the 2 is present, we call it sarcopenia. 3 में से कोई भी 2 होगा तो हम उसको sarcopenia बोलेंगे. And if 3 of them is present, we call it severe sarcopenia. Okay, so 1 present, it is pre-sarcopenia. If 2 present, either of the 2 are present, that is known as sarcopenia. And if 3 of them are present, we can call it's a severe sarcopenia. So digging more to the topic, that is classification of sarcopenia. कितने तरह के होते हैं? There are 2 classification of sarcopenia. As per the one is primary sarcopenia and other is secondary sarcopenia. As we all know, primary is all we easily able to emphasize that it is age-related problem, whereas secondary sarcopenia may happen when activity-related things are happening, like if the person is more sedentary, the lifestyle is more sedentary, or the zero gravity condition. Remember the Sunita Williams? We were all worried about her when she was in space. She was losing her muscles, and we all were concerned about the decreasing muscle mass of her. So this was the condition that she was under sarcopenia, and that comes under the secondary sarcopenia. Another is the disease related one. We all know that whenever a person is suffering, all of us are working towards somewhere, some medical hospital or somewhere. We can all see then whenever a person walking to us suffering from chronic kidney disease or liver disease, that all we feel that they look different. So that is the secondary sarcopenia, and sometimes it is nutrition related also. When there is a deficiency of calorie protein or the person is not eating properly, that is comes under the nutrition. That may happen due to the nutrition also. Another thing, not eating well, one point, and another point is not absorbing well. That is, if we are suffering from, the person wants to eat, they have all the information about the what to eat, what not to eat, but if malabsorption is happening or gastrointestinal disorder are there, or somewhere he is on some medications which give him anorexia because he don't want to eat, he feels full all the time, so that person may suffer from this loss of muscle. Another classification, that is acute versus chronic. So acute sarcopenia which lasts less than 6 months, often जब थोड़ा थोड़ा कभी जॉन्डिस हो जाता है, ट्यूबरकुलोसिस हो जाता है, तो समटाइम्स पेशेंट थोड़ा सा आपको वीक लगने लगता है, तो दैट टाइम दैट कम्स अंडर द acute sarcopenia. But whenever they start proper physical activity, they have come up over their medical issues, then the starts exercising also, then they can overcome, that is reversible. But whereas the chronic sarcopenia is persisting more than 6 months or longer, that are associated mostly to various diseases which have malnutrition or which can produce malnutrition or some inflammation or some metabolic disturbances. So classification is over up till now. Then looking into the mechanism of sarcopenia, aging we all know. What happens in aging? The muscle mass decreases and the fat masses increases. That also causes the cellular changes in the muscle, that is increase, that is size and the number of the type of the fiber decreases, and fatty inflammation also increases. The cellular changes also causes decrease in the number of the satellite cells and decrease in the muscle regeneration. That is known as the satellite cell dysfunction. Satellite cells are what? Those cells gives us the strength and repair. They have the function of repair of the tissues, and when this cell decreases, the repair and regeneration affects. Then there is also what is happening during this is not visible. Like what we can measure is the muscle mass, muscle strength, and what is going inside, that is the thing I am presenting here. Also there is decrease in the type 2 fibers and the replacement of type 1 fiber and the fatty tissues. So this is again happening, and this gives us loss of stamina and strength. And there are some another additional factors in muscle mass, that is really about mitochondrial dysfunction and oxidative stress and inflammation and all that. So this is the thing which is going inside of our body when we tell that this person is suffering from sarcopenia. There is two terms related to this. Sometimes we get confused with this. One is sarcopenia, another is cachexia, and a third is the frailty. What is the difference between them? The sarcopenia, only muscle mass is going down. There is mostly no changes in the fat cells. Whereas in cachexia, both are going down. The muscle is going down, and as well as the fat is also going down. So there is no fat, no muscle. Whereas in frailty, which is more like more deadly, so this multi-physiological systems are involving here. Multi-system deterioration, muscle is going, the cognition is also decreasing, alertness of the patient is also decreasing, as well as social alertness. So person, कई बार जो frail patient होता है, that person don't want to be in the social activity, and alertness भी कम होता है, तो mostly ये patient bed bound हो जाता है. This further gives them more advancement of the sarcopenia. So they are lessly bed bound kind of हो जाते हैं. तो frailty is those जब जो person है वो socially cut off हो जाता है. How to assess sarcopenia? कि अब हमारे को पता चल गया है कि what is sarcopenia. We have to learn, we have to find out these three things. So in order to screen, सब तो नहीं sarcopenic होंगे. In order to screen the person is suffering from sarcopenia or not, we have one screening tool that is known as SARCAP. we have 5 questions: how much difficulty you have in lifting, or 10 pounds means around 5 kgs. How much difficulty do you have walking across a room? How much difficulty do you have transferring from chair to bed? And how much difficulty do you have climbing a flight of 10 stairs? Flight means at a stretch आपको 10 stairs चढ़ना होता है. Then how much times do you fallen in the past? So scoring is like, if none, then that time we have to give 0. If one, that means sometimes it is happening, and if it is happening more time, then we have to do 2. The scoring is like, if the score is more than 4 or equal to 4, the person has to be taken for a detailed assessment. This is a screening tool. Okay. Then this is the assessment technique. When the 3 things again, the muscle mass can be judged by DIA. All of us are again, we have attended the in-body program also, and otherwise most of them are aware that the body mass can be easily assessed. So if the person is having less than 7, this is SMI. SMI is skeletal muscle index. So if the man is having less than 7 kg per meter square, then the person is sarcopenic, and for female the cutoff is less than 5.7. If we are going for the DEXA, which is a gold standard test, but again there is a few disadvantages. It is costly, and we may not be going again for the DEXA scan. So the same is the cutoff is same, less than men's less than 7, and for female it is less than 5.4. The anthropometry, if we are not having all of them, nothing to worry. We can go for calf circumference. पैर के बीच में जहाँ पे fullest portion होता है, the calf region, we can check that circumferences of the calf region, and if it is less than 34 centimeter for men and less than 33 centimeter for women, the person may fall into the category of surgery. We have to further assess them, but this is like just we have to go for further stages. For the hand grip strength test, the male less than 27 kgs and the female less than 18 kgs. I have brought that with me also. Here it is. I just want to show you. This is the hand grip strength method. It is very easy. It is very economical also. So we have to push, keeping our hand like this 90, and we have to push this like that, and the score is, it is digital actually. So this can be, you can all can go and can test yourself that how much. So the men to men, it should be more than, because we don't want to be sarcopenic. So all of us has to be more than 28, because it is 27.5, and for female it should not be less than 18. This is the hand grip strength by which we can check the muscle strength. Again, for female it is 18, remember 18 से ज़्यादा आना चाहिए अपना, and for men it has to be more than 27.5. And the physical performance can be assessed very easily. Usual gait speed, like we ask to the person to walk, and if the walk is like 4 meter का पार्क रहता है, and those 4 meter they have to cover at the speed of 0.8 meter per second. This is for above 60 years, so I will not ask you to do that. And otherwise, we can go for, in order to assess the physical performance, we can go for 5 chair stand test. Are you willing to go for it right now? But all of you are having cups in your hand. You wanted to go for one, just 12 seconds. We have to stand up and we have to sit again. That means it should be like 5 chair stand test. Within 12 seconds, it has to be more than 5. I think all of you will be able to do it. Okay. So these are the pictures. Like first is the DIA machine, second is the hand anemometer. This is the recent one. I am having the other one, and this is the calf. उसमें shoes नहीं दिख रहा है, ये हाथ नहीं है, ये पाँव है picture में. So this is the calf muscle, and this is the hand stand chair stand test. We have to hold hand like that, okay, and then we have to sit and we have to stand. This has to be done in 12 seconds. It has to be more than 5. Okay. So everyone is going to do it today at your home. And their gait speed, as I explained. What are the risk factors for sarcopenia? The demographic, lifestyle, nutrition factors. I am going to discuss it in detail. For the demographic factors, age we all know that it represents the strongest risk factor for sarcopenia. But the gender, I was not even aware of this fact. This study says that over 70 years, this is for 75 years and old. I was in a I was in opinion that female has got more muscle mass, has got less muscle mass than men. But it says that 75 years old, this study says for 75 years and old people, muscle mass is lost at the rate of 0.6 to 0.7 in women, whereas in men it is 0.8 to 0.9% per year. It is 1% more in men. I think we all have to do further researches in order to see whether it is correct or not, or it is like true to our nation or not, our nation also. And the muscle function, again 1% difference, muscle function loss at the rate of 3 to 4 per year, 3 to 4% per year in men, and whereas 2.5 to 3%, same the difference of 1% is there for for men and female. What is the lifestyle related factors? It is like every one of us is aware that हमको सबको 150 minutes per week activity करनी है, because otherwise if we are not going to, we are at a greater risk of sarcopenia. Sedentary behavior, I have seen in my practice that lot of IT people, they have to sit more than 7 hours. I think they are working for 12 hours also. Sometimes they are working for 12 hours. So I don't know how much time they just wake up and go and move. I don't know how much they are. So if we are prolonged sitting, like say more than 7, I think doctor also sit more than 7 hours a day. So is independently associated with higher sarcopenia risk. Even there is a study done by the Verma et al. That says that high sarcopenia prevalence of 46.7% adults who lead a sedentary lifestyle, almost 50%, 46.7%. That means जो sedentary life जी रहे हैं, 50% chances हैं, if I am just rounding off, तो 50% chances हैं कि they may go towards sarcopenia. What are the nutritional factors? As I explained earlier also, there is the intake and as well as the absorption also. And apart from that, we all know that protein and calories are responsible for sarcopenia, or responsible for malnutrition also. And also with that, this vitamin D is also associated. So these days, I think there is a lot of vitamin D investigation is happening, and those who are going for they complain kind of thing to the doctors like यहाँ दर्द हो रहा, वहाँ दर्द हो रहा, हमेशा weakness लगती है. They ask them to go for a vitamin D test, and or otherwise they start also. Sometimes without testing they start also. And some of the vitamins deficiency like C, E, selenium and carotenoid also helps to reduce the free radicals. So that means C, E, F ये हम कैसे ध्यान रखेंगे? तो I think it has to be a balanced diet for all of us, because we cannot check vitamin C every time, vitamin E, selenium, all the things. So if we are eating a balanced diet, three katoris of vegetables, 2 katori of dal at least, some of the milk, I think 304, and I think ICMR has given another guidelines for the person for 2000 calorie meal, and they are talking about how much exchanges we have to take every day so that we will be having a balanced diet. Then the chronic diseases, these are all diseases related to COPD, CKD, CVD, diabetes and the liver diseases. These are the diseases which I think sooner or later the patient falls into the malnutrition, and there is lot of oxidative stress are there. So there is lot of things happening in these diseases. If the person is not caught at the right time, they are going to be definitely going to this sarcopenic state. I think these days we should, जितने भी diabetic person होते, they always come to us and tells us that और तो कुछ नहीं, पेट तो भाई का वही है, but पाँव पतले हो रहे हैं. So this is what, that is changes in the quantity of the muscle mass. They are asking me to go quick. So I think 1 or 2 slides guys. The additional risk is smoking and alcohol. Even those people who are past alcohol consumption linked to 2.20 times higher. Sleeping patterns, we all know that if the sleep deprivation because of mobile and Facebook and Instagram, they correlates with sarcopenia risk. So the gym goers who are not able to gain muscles, and if they sleep, they are taking all the nutrients, supplements, and doing good quality exercises also. But if they are not sleeping well, they may not be able to gain their muscles. Other social factors like isolation and the prolonged hospital stay. So this is the effect. I am just in a nutshell that what is sarcopenia? This is just muscle mass weakness, reduced muscle mass, difficulty in walking, climbing stairs. They decline in independence, the increased risk of falls and fractures, and above all, what is happening, the poor quality life and the happiness. This is again, I think I have explained it how to proceed with if we are having a person at our setup. Like, if first of all we have to go for SARCAF, then after SARCAF it is like more than 4 score, then we have to go for muscle strength and a physical test. If both are positive, then we have to go for a further assessment, lifestyle modification, diet and exercise, and same way we have to go for the hospital setting also. There we can go for the hand grip strength, the speed test, the physical performance test, and so on. Thank you so much.